Okay, we're live. Okay, hello everybody. Hi. Welcome to our webinar on microorganisms, the unseen world. So get ready to be blown away by the unseen world, so to speak. My name is Yan, and this is Lydia. We're from Science Bridge Academy. So what we do at Science Bridge is we do lots of fun science experiments that can blow you away. All right, and if you really like doing experiments, you like learning about science, then please join us. You can find us by going to our Facebook page, which we're on right now, or you can go to our website, www.sciencebridgeacademy.com, or of course, just send us a message, whatever, if you want us to, help you out with any aspect of this. So I think for some of you who are seeing this on our Facebook page, if you're seeing it for the second time, you might get confused. Sorry about that. We did run a webinar earlier on Saturday, 12 p.m. We ran a webinar on this microorganisms, but we ran into a technical issue, and so we couldn't post the video on our page. And so for the benefit of those who perhaps might have missed segments of it or parts of it, we're doing the webinar again. And of course, for those who are just seeing this for the first time, well, good for you. Okay, so I'm gonna pass this over to Ms. Lydia to tell you a bit about microorganisms. So Lydia has a master's in biotechnology from UM. So she's done a lot of researching into plant properties. It's a bit general, but yeah, so she knows a lot about microorganisms. Okay, so I'm gonna pass it over to her. Let me just share her screen. Okay. All right. Here you go, Lydia. It's all yours.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lydia. Today I'm going to talk to you about microorganisms, the unseen world.
Sorry, Lydia, you need to move forward a bit. Sorry.
Alone in an empty room and ask you to point at a living being apart from yourself, you will probably say there is no one apart from you. Well, let's give a thought. Let's watch this video.
There seems to be something on this bread. I wonder what it is. Aha! That's interesting. So, do you want to have a look? Come here, take a look. Wondering what they are? These are microorganisms. So, do you want to learn more about them? Zoom in!
There are some living cells cannot be seen with bare eyes. They can only be seen under microscope. These organisms are called as microorganisms. Microorganisms are tiny living organisms all around you. Microorganisms, they come in many shapes, sizes, and varieties. There are trillions and trillions of microorganisms all around the earth. Let's test your knowledge. Can you name some types of microorganisms? You may type your answer in the comment box below. Okay, some of you might comment this during your later part after the webinar. Okay, scientists have classified these microorganisms into 5 types. They are bacteria, virus, protozoa, fungi, and algae. What is bacteria? Bacteria are single-cell microorganisms that comes in rod shape, spherical shape, and also spiral shape. Bacteria can be found everywhere, even on your books, foods, playground, including in you and me. In you and me, you can find bacteria in your nose, mouth, on skin, and also in stomach. Can be good or bad bacteria. Some good bacteria can be useful, for example, like lactobacillus bacteria, which can be found in yogurts and also in your favorite drink, Yakult, or in Vitagen. And Streptomyces is taking antibiotics. Some nasty bacteria like Salmonella can cause stomachache and diarrhea. What is viruses? Viruses are very small microorganisms.
Sorry, can you speak up a bit? I think the volume is yeah. Speak up a bit, or maybe yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Viruses, they are very small microorganisms, can only survive inside the cell of the other living organisms. They will start to multiply and cells of the and cause diseases once enter the living organism. They can cause diseases like flu, chickenpox, and also measles. What is protozoa? Protozoa means little animal. They are one-cell organisms, but they are bigger than bacteria. These protozoa, they love moisture and they spread through contaminated waters like puddles and pond water. Protozoa, they feed on bacteria, but they also eat other protozoa and other organic matter. They cause infections and also diseases. What is fungi? Fungi are not plants. They are multicellular, looks like plants. Fungi have cell walls that feed by absorbing their foods and use spores to reproduce. Mushrooms that you like to eat are an examples of fungi. However, they are not however, not all fungi are good. There are bad fungi which can cause diseases such as athlete's foot, fungal nail infections, and also skin disease. What is algae? Algae can be found all over the world. We use algae for medicine, for food like seaweed, and to combat climate change. Spirulina are also a type of algae, and jellies are also made from algae. Now let's focus at bacteria and virus. This is bacteria and this is virus. This is also a bacteria and this is also virus. And this is another type of bacteria and this is another type of virus. What are the similarities between bacteria and viruses? Both are microbes. Microscopic means very, very small. Both can only be seen under microscope. Bacteria and viruses can cause severe illnesses in human, animal, and also in plants. How do bacteria and virus they infect us? They enter through eye, mouth, nose, or through wounds. How do bacteria and viruses spread? They can spread through coughing, sneezing, shaking hands with infected person, and they also can contact through contaminated surfaces, foods, and also water. Apart from that, they also can contact with infected animals. What are the symptoms caused by bacteria and viral infection? Coughing, sneezing, fever, inflammation, vomiting, diarrhea, fatigue, and also cramp. What are the differences between bacteria and viruses? They are two different sizes. Viruses are 200 times smaller than bacteria, and their structures also different. Bacteria, they have a complex structure, including ribosome, cell wall, chromosomes, plasma membrane, plasmid, and cytoplasm. Whereas virus, they have a simple structure with an outer protein envelope that is filled with genetic codes, either DNA or RNA. Bacteria, they able to reproduce by replicating, whereas virus, they need a host to reproduce. How do bacteria and viruses they attack our body? First, let's look at bacteria. Let's watch this video to see how bacteria infect a person. Sam is running at school compound and he accidentally bumped into a little boy who was walking. The boy fell and hurt himself. There is an open wound and bacteria from the ground starts to enter into his wound. They start to double up their numbers every 20 minutes. When they reach a certain population, they will start to attack and damage the cells around them. Now let's look at virus. When some infected person is contacted with this virus will attach to the target cell, and then the cell will engulf the virus by endocytosis. Then the virus content will release. The virus RNA enters the nucleus where it is replicated by viral RNA polymerase. Then the virus mRNA is used to make virus protein. Then new particles will multiply and these new particles will be released. How to protect ourselves from bacteria and viruses?
So Ms. Lydia, can I ask then if the virus, that means, so the virus actually, it sounds like the virus actually goes in and takes over the host cell and makes the host cell DNA similar or mirror the host cell DNA will mirror the virus DNA. Is that right? Something like that, and then it sort of replicates in the cell.
RNAs and DNAs from these bacteria, they will release the RNAs and DNAs from the viruses. They will release as much as they can, and this will replicate. And once they replicate, the numbers will be increasing. When they replicate, new bacteria will be produced, and this virus will be produced, and these viruses will be attacking the most cells in the body.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. How to protect ourselves from them? We can protect by washing our hands, taking bath, make sure don't shake hands with infected person, and we need to eat cooked food. Raw foods might contain bacteria or viruses. How to cure? Pathogens that have already entered the body have to be treated differently because we can't pour acid over them or tickle them with flames unless you want to kill the patient as well. We can kill bacteria using antibiotics, and we can kill virus with antiviral or vaccines. Before we go further, let's know about immune system. When microorganisms enter our body, it will multiply and cause infections. Antibiotics will be created by an immune system to fight back. Immune systems are in our body since we are born, and they help to fight towards the microorganisms. But there are some diseases where cannot be handled by our body. So we need to seek for treatment. Let's look how to cure bacterial infections. For bacterial infections, we can use antibiotics. Okay. Antibiotics, they can kill bacteria very fast and leave only small groups of survivors. So when we take antibiotic, okay, these antibiotics, they will start to attack the bacteria, and then most of the bacteria will be killed. One or two bacteria will left behind. So how do antibiotics do this? Imagine the bacteria as a very complex machine, and these antibiotics will disrupt this complex machine by interfering the DNAs, and then they will rip out the outer layer of the bacteria to shreds so that they will die. For viruses, we can use antiviral, or we can also use vaccines. Okay, but antiviral is not as effective as antibiotics. So most of the time, we don't recommend to use antiviral. Let's look at vaccines. But there are another type of weapons where we call it as vaccine. So this is Jack, and let's see how vaccines work. Vaccine help Jack to fight infections. A small number of antigen are introduced into Jack's body. This antigen causes Jack's immune system to work. After Jack gets vaccine, this vaccine antigen will kill microorganisms, kill these antigens, and the antigens in vaccines are weakened or dead. So now, do you think viruses are alive? Scientists, they are still debating. Some say viruses are living and some say no. All living things, they must be able to move, reproduce, respond, take nutrients, excrete waste, respire, or they must be able to grow. But viruses, they are not cells. They contain DNA. They're able to reproduce and multiply if they enter into human or into animals or into plants. They do not use any energy to grow. They can't make or produce waste. They do not respond to stimuli in the environment. So do you think viruses should be considered living things? If you ask me, I would say viruses are non-living things because they depend on others. They won't be able to move on their own. They won't be able to reproduce if there are no hosts. I hope now you know more about the microorganisms. Let's look at the famous microorganisms since the end of year 2019 till now. This microorganism is known as virus, the novel coronavirus. Some call this virus as Wuhan virus. Some call it as China virus. Why? Because it first started from Wuhan, which is located in China. And this virus has traveled to all parts of the world. And what is COVID-19? Is it a name of the virus? I think no, it's not the name of the virus, but it's the name of the disease caused by coronavirus. CO stands for corona, VI stands for virus, D stands for disease, 19 stands for the year the disease started, year 2019. So what are the symptoms of COVID-19? Fever, cough, flu, shortness of breath, muscle pain. It also causes headache, sputum production, diarrhea, sore throat, and also buffet. That's all from me. Thank you for listening and stay safe at home.
Well, thank you for that, Ms. Lydia. I think that was very informative, and certainly it has improved my knowledge also about virus. You know, I really got to get my head around this DNA and RNA. You know, but I'm an engineer, so not a biologist. But for all those budding microbiologists out there, you know, something for you to think about. So, Ms. Lydia, what's your favorite microorganism then?
Oh, my favorite microorganisms is bacteria. Actually, there are a lot of bacteria around us, even on our skin, but we won't be able to see the bacteria.
Oh yeah.
If we culture these bacteria they comes in different sizes, different colors, and normally their shapes are very different. So what normally I will do is I will ask my students to try to culture bacteria in the classes, try to swap some samples from table on their book or from their pencil case, anywhere around them, and then I'll ask them to culture. And most of the times the kids, they love doing it, and they are amazed with the outcome because normally the colonies of the cultures are very colorful.
Yeah, I think we can't imagine how dirty our hands are really, and how much we've actually been exposed to. Yeah, just because we can't see this bacteria, as you say, you know, that's very very apt. Okay, well, thank you very much again, and guys, thank you for listening. Actually, we do have some people who tuned in. How strange. Yeah, but we will be posting a link to the quiz. So for those who listened earlier in the webinar at 12 and you want to take the quiz, if you score 6 out of 10, you get a very special offer from us for our classes. But of course, you know, you're most welcome to take the quiz just for your own knowledge, for your own general knowledge. Some of the respondees who have answered, they did quite well, not too bad. So quite pleased with it. So, okay, thank you very much again, and stay safe, and well, have a great weekend. Okay, bye everybody.